What is up, everyone? Welcome to Mechs on Deck. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Mechs on Deck. Oh,
My
echo.
Here,
but it's
echo.
okay.
All right.
Yeah, tonight we are joined by designer of GMK Fox, Miss BoneandBee. How are you doing?
How are you guys? How's everyone?
Doing well.
How are you guys?
Do you mind muting your Twitch stream? I think your Twitch stream is on, so we're hearing ourselves.
Yes, I am hearing everyone. Yes.
No worries. How's
All
your day
good.
today,
Quick
Dave?
It was good, man. Woke up, stretch, walk, eggs. You know, the best way to wake up.
Sorry,
so,
what is this video? What am I looking?
Whatever the video of like Twitch that's up, just mute it like through the Twitch, like it's like as if it's like on YouTube, or you can just mute the tab. So, but no, it was good. You know, just hung out, chilled. It was good. Had to run to the store to pick up lettuce because the amount of lettuce I've been eating is like ridiculous. But no, it's been a relaxing day. No worries. Hey, no worries. It's been a relaxing day. No worries. Hey, no worries.
Should be able to just click the Twitch tab and then just hit M.
It is all good. There he is.
All right.
What about you, man? How's your day been?
It was good. It was good. 5 o'clock.
All right. You are muted on Discord now. All right, now you're not.
There we're good.
Cool.
We're
now
good.
We're good. Boom. Welcome to Mechs on Deck.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Can you hear us?
We can't hear us. All right. But Eric, how was your day? Well, we get that solved.
No worries. It was good. It was really, really good. It was busy at work again today, and I had some fun times at work, and yeah, it was chill. Then I hung out and just ate some lunch, some dinner, and then yeah, got ready for stream, and now we're here.
Here we are, man. So quick shout out to our sponsors while we get the technical difficulties set up. We've got OmniType, Project Keyboards, Canon Keys, and Kinetic Labs, as well as we are partnered by Zap Cables, Type Beast, Smith & Rune, and 3D Keys. We'll hear more from there. And we hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Can you guys?
I guess you. I don't think she can hear. I don't think you can hear us now.
Oh my god, why is this? Sorry, this is like a first time user setup.
It is all good.
You're good. You're good.
We are not strangers to audio problems. It's happened.
Yeah.
Especially our first like 6 months. Mother of God.
I mean, yeah, you used to have a camera that would just shut off every 30 minutes.
It'd be like, hey, you know what? I'm done.
It's like I don't want to do this
anymore. It's a little warm in here, so I'm done.
Yeah, it is. It's the nature of the beast. Audio's never the most fun to deal with, but it's okay. I'm sure we'll get it all figured out. But yeah, we also do have some partners as well: Zap Cables, Type Beast, Smith & Rune, and 3D Keys. Go check out the links in chat there and see what they've got. There's tons of stuff. All right, we getting there? All right.
Why don't we throw it to a be right back real quick?
Yeah.
And so we'll be right back, guys, in just a minute with BoneandBee.
All right, everyone, we are back, and I think we got it all figured out. It wouldn't be a Twitch stream without some sort of audio or video issue. It always happens.
No matter what. If it makes you feel any better, user error. I once muted an entire sound test for a keyboard.
True, you did.
It happened, and Eric filled in the blanks by making the noises of what the keyboard would sound like. It was a good time. So
it's pretty funny.
Guys, this is BoneandBee again, the designer of GMK Fox that ran Group Buy earlier this year. And it's a first-time designer, so it was kind of cool to see. We wanted to get someone that's only done like one set to kind of get that different perspective as we're doing Keycap Designer Month. So welcome to the show, BoneandBee.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So we typically start off with a fast four. We're going to start off with the top 4 favorite switches.
Okay, so because I'm actually pretty new to a lot of this, I do have T1s in my current board, but I'm definitely like tactile over linear, and I like Holy Pandas and Pacos, but I don't really have a whole lot of experience with much else. So yeah, I have 3.
No worries.
Well, we're going to have to send you some Anubis switches so you can have a 4th.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, that would be cool.
Well, given the other switches you named, they'd be right up your alley. They're kind of somewhere between T1, Holy Panda, all that. So
they're in that mix. So
next up will be your top 4 favorite keycap sets, and we have to exclude GMK because that's the easy number.
But I mean, to be honest, like this is a really hard question for me because there's so many good sets out there. There's so many there's like the classics, like Olivia Botanical, Mizu, Bingsu, so many of them. But Cafe is always going to be on there. Cafe will never be tossed off the list. But there are so many. I think I'm gonna, Cafe. Lavender has quickly become like one of my favorite sets. I'm so excited for that set. Rainy Day, and man, I'm gonna have to go with Copper.
Yeah, Copper's a solid one. I think Copper is slept on.
Yeah, absolutely. Copper's such a cool set. Yeah.
Yeah. So, top 4 favorite keyboards. And there might be a little skewed answers here, but I can understand why.
Yeah, let's see. Iron 6 FE. No. So yeah, definitely like all of the irons. But I am a numpad user, so
iron full size confirmed right here. You heard it.
I keep trying to get them to do a numpad. So fingers crossed, but nothing promised. So I use an Austin.
Okay.
That's my daily driver. And to be honest, like I gotta say, one of the things that I love about this hobby is all the creativity that kind of goes into it. So I kind of really dig the 60. I love that they were so out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Yep.
So there you go.
Yep.
And then last but not least, the one that has nothing to do with keyboards, your top 4 favorite foods.
This was another really hard one, but we're gonna go with bread, cheese, fried potato, anything. And will people kill me if I say kale?
Hey, you like what you like, right?
Yeah, I love kale.
I don't hate kale, but kale also makes its way into things it doesn't really need to be in.
That is true, and people don't know what they're doing with it most of the time, so you get like brittle shards of weird green in your teeth, but if you know what to do with it, it's delicious.
Yeah.
I have to ask Langlandia and Topclack to
to keep it PG.
Let's Let's get some ice. Get some ice pack. Maybe dump some water in you guys.
No, I have a. It's funny you say kale because there's times where I have like a strange like craving for kale chips specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I literally crave kale on a regular basis. It's kind of pathetic.
Hey, kale chips are great. I just don't like it when they throw kale in a Caesar salad, and I'm like, oh, come on.
Wanted some like watery romaine,
Yeah,
flavorless.
exactly.
It's a vehicle for cheese. Let's be honest here.
So, but guys, again, this is BoneandBee. For those who don't know, BoneandBee is married to Vox Key of Smith and Rune. So gets to use all the iron boards before everybody else.
Yeah. Kind of nice. I've seen it in person.
It's just the perks, you know.
It's a small perks. Do you help with the with any of the like shipping and stuff?
I do actually. A lot of you have received boards that I have packed with love. Most of the ones that have been nicely folded into tissue paper are the ones that.
So you heard it here. Those are the ones that are going to flip for an extra like $800 if the paper came in neatly folded. Boom.
Yep.
Make sure you post it. BoneandBee packed.
Here. Yeah. Yeah, and to be honest, if you ever email in or message on Instagram, you're probably talking to me too. So.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
The unsung hero of Vox Key and Smith and Rune. But enough about Smith and Rune. All right, this is about GMK Fox and BoneandBee. First off, let's talk about how you got into the hobby.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of by osmosis. I was mentioning this a little bit earlier when we were talking before the stream. I have like some pretty bad joint issues. So when Vox had been into it ahead of time, you know, I kind of teased him about the nerditude a little bit. But then he just kind of was like, just try it. So he did, and it like changed the way that I type. I don't have as much pain. And then just kind of looking at all of the creativity and seeing the passion and like meeting people within the community and just it's all of that together just kind of makes it an awesome hobby, you know? So yeah, just seeing what you can do, like pimp your desk. Yeah.
It's pretty awesome hobby. It's like it's super unique, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I don't really see a whole lot of that kind of stuff, you know, where you can just it's so niche and just interesting and different. Yeah.
We have a question. Do you use split backspace?
You know who I'm married to? Of course I do. You think I would be allowed to stay in this house if I didn't?
Now, like, you know, to be fair, I am a hater. I don't actually hate it, but I refuse to buy and use 65%, which is always a running joke between Vox and myself. But that's my wife's favorite. It's my wife's favorite layout.
Nice.
Like hands down. So there are 65% in this room, but not by me.
Not yours.
Yeah, sometimes you have to make compromises for love.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, let's be honest, I am the one who wears the pants here, so yeah.
Ooh. Calling you out, Vox. Calling you out.
This is a split backspace house.
He can have the split backspace and you get to call the shots on everything else.
Yeah. There you go. Again, this is like the second time I'm hearing a full-size keyboard from Smith and Rune.
I know,
Next
right?
up, like you heard it here right now. So you're in the hobby. You're typing on these badass boards, and you're like, I want a Keyset that doesn't actually exist.
Yeah.
So how did you get into Keyset design? When was that kind of? How did that like seed get planted? Like how were you like? Oh, you know, I want to go down that route of Keyset design.
I feel like just because I'm a graphic designer and I was already like and I did the Smith and Rune logo and their branding, so I was already kind of like in the keyboard design world to begin with, and I was just poking around, looking at all these sets and like thinking that's really cool, but I wish I could like, change the color a little bit, or wouldn't it be cool to have like this novelty kind of thing? And like the more that I thought about it, I was like, I could do that. And they would be really cool. So, especially after talking to Lang, like he's, such a good resource for this type of stuff and like just, was really encouraging. And yeah, it just kind of happened. And there, I started doodling what would be a cool novelty. And then, like I said, the cross desk mat was the first thing I actually legit designed for it. And once I did that, it just was kind of like all in. So
yeah, start with a picture, which is kind of cool because some people start design by pick some colors and kind of design up from there, and then maybe a theme kind of once you get the colors set, you kind of go like that kind of looks like this. Maybe I do a theme around that. Where this definitely started with I want a fox as a keycap.
Yeah, it's random. Yeah.
So, but outside of that, I guess talk about Fox. You for those who don't know, it's a very cool keycap set because you donated a bunch of money to Save a Fox to help rescue foxes from fur farms. So it's a really noble cause that you're able to donate some money to a good cause. I had never heard of Save a Fox, but I just kind of assumed like at most animals that sadly they're just mistreated and everywhere. All I've ever heard about foxes is don't have one as a pet because they will destroy everything you own.
Yeah, and pee on things. Yeah.
Yep. Mark their territory. But where did that kind of stem from of going, okay, I've made a fox, now I'm doing this and now I want to help donate?
I guess I've kind of always wanted to involve charity work more. Uh, I've done some, like just donated like designs to stuff. I've volunteered at shelters and that kind of thing. I wanted to do something that was a little bit more reaching, and because this is like a luxury hobby, it is. I thought like it might be nice to be able to take a little bit of that and put it towards something that would also benefit something that would need it. And so that's one of the things that one of my goals with any future sets that each set would be donating a portion to a different charity each time. So this one, I just love foxes. I love Save a Fox. I've been following them for so long. Juniper fox also. Like it was really hard to decide between the two because Juniper is just so cute. But I know that Save a Fox, I'm watching them like rescue from like hoarding situations, and they drive all over the place to, take any fox that they possibly can from these horrible fur farms. And I just figured that was going to be where my money was going to do the most work. So, yeah, that it's I don't know. Fur is an issue that I've definitely been very passionate about for a long time. And just foxes are kind of awesome. I mean, what is it that people say? It's cats wear and dog hardware. It's like the coolest hybrid animals ever.
Plus they're just adorable.
Yeah.
They really are. They're so fluffy, and they scream.
Yeah, they make some weird noises, but it's so cute.
Yeah, I know. Definitely like my spirit animal, like screaming dogs.
I feel like when I first heard of GMK Fox, and before I'd even seen the renders, um, I had an idea in my head of the way it would look. And then I saw it and I was like, this is so different and it's so much better. And I want to ask, what made you go with the, I guess I feel like a lot of people may think GMK Fox and they may think overwhelming orange and that
Mhm.
deep color, but you chose to do that, use that orange as the accent, which I think was a fantastic. Like it really made it more of like what you do say in your interest check of like telling like almost a story where that orange is just a little bit. What made that decision?
Actually wrote the story first before I decided on the colors and kind of went through like when so the colors actually came I used to have them named like and dew and was underbrush and there had been a fourth color actually initially and I just couldn't make it work the way that I wanted it to look. But yeah, the story came first, and I know that orange is like an abrasive, overwhelming color, and it takes like the right orange and the right application for it to be okay. Like, I mean, look at the set Reforged. I freaking love that, but that is the right orange with the right, like
Yeah.
graphics, the right application. But I that it being my first set, I didn't want to just come out and like slap everyone in the face. Also, I was still kind of crushing on botanical at the time, and I was bummed that I had personally missed out on it, and wanted to do something that not that was just kind of like parallel a parallel thought or a parallel idea or like kind of taking it more like outdoor. So I liked the idea of making it like these deep teals and like kind of like the dew highlight and then just having like this little quick like foxtail flashing underneath. um but yeah, so it's just I do believe in subtlety sometimes. Not always. And
It's
that's just not how that worked out. Yeah.
we talk about orange being abrasive color, but the hobby also, ironically, even though botanical is a very well loved set, and it's good that you get a second chance to grab botanical now. But but you managed to take two colors that really are the least favorite colors in the hobby, or at least critically don't do that well in terms of their the past with green and orange, and you've managed to make another set. We got a similar colorway set, Kaiju, green, orange, a lot more orange on that set.
Yeah.
But that's two sets that have taken the two, maybe least sought after colors and made it work. And yeah, the set looks fantastic. The second I see it on a board, I'm going to probably chase a set down and be upset with how much I'm going to have to spend for it. But it's a really, really good looking set.
Yeah.
With that just with the tiny pop of orange. Orange is typically not my jam, but it like you said, it works. It's just a tiny bit, a small amount. And what I really like, and we'll talk about this now, is the novelties. One, I've never seen a key set where if you buy the base kit and the novelties, you get 7 enter keys, which is that might be a record. So congrats on your record.
With enter keys, I really did.
most enter keys in a set. Yeah, these are some amazing novelties, like some top tier novelties.
Thank you. Thank you. I really love like I just love drawing like and drawing animals and botanicals. Like if I could just do that all day every day for the rest of my life, I'd be a very happy person. And I know I really kind of like overdid it on the interkeys. But I kind of wanted like a color for every possibility of combinations, you know? And like I did actually trim it down some, which I know doesn't look like I did. Um, but yeah, I did. I wanted like if you got the alt mods, I wanted you to have an enter key for that. If you had just the regular base, I wanted you to have the enter key for that. And if you wanted your accent, I wanted you to have an enter key for that as well. You know, I don't know if that was a popular choice. I'm not sure I would repeat that again. But you know,
I
it
like it.
was. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was definitely. Yeah, I definitely went a little overboard on that.
I think it looks great. I agree with Dave. I think that they're fantastic. I like that you have the ability to also it with the addition of the two leaf enter keys of to almost just not even have it be a fox themed set too, which is nice because like we were saying that orange, some people are not a big fan of it. Some people may like the alpha and mods that you have, maybe love the set and get that. And they can also have their novelty feature. Uh, not
Yeah,
good
that's
to
that.
fox.
I was kind of going for that too, and I actually really liked. So Nathan Alphaman did the renders, and so he did a render where he put together just the greens with just the leaf novelties, and I really love that he actually like did that for the set, and it was I didn't actually point him in that direction. I love that he took the liberty on that one because I really feel like it was you're able to like see the, okay, yeah, you might not like the orange, but look what you can do with this, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. There's so much, especially with like with those novelties. This is something I kind of it's similar to like camping, especially like
Mhm.
round one camping,
Mhm.
where you kind of get to pick what you want out of it. You can take everything animal related, and this can just be like a different version of botanical for you.
Mhm.
You plus you get the mushrooms on there, so didn't see that in botanical, but no, you can do like the subtle fox where it's just the paw print, like
Mhm.
love the acorns, and I what I like and what if I had this, I think the white enter with the orange fox, so it's even more subtle, and the white acorn with the orange acorn, where it's like it's even more subtle,
Yeah.
and I like this set. I'm like, man, I would spend too much money because I'd probably have to get every kit because I would want. I would want it mono. I would.
I know. I got enough kits for myself that I'll be able to have multiple boards. Yeah, like every single version that you could do, I'm gonna be able to have, which I'm actually kind of pumped about.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, again, like I do subscribe to that kind of subtlety. Like in my normal graphic design, like I really am like very much like very simple, clean, but like pops of color. Like a red swash over here, or
Yeah.
like a purple bow in the background or something like that. You know what I mean? Like so having the little pop of the orange without it being like so overbearing was important to me to be able to include, so that people who kind of share in that aesthetic could do it without feeling like there's so much color on my desk, because like I mean let's be real, a lot of us, like some people are going to do a lot of like the big bright bold colors. Some people for your daily driver you're not going to,
Yeah.
that's why like black and white and gray are like some of the most popular colors.
Yeah, subtlety. Or you can be like Lang and put Anderbite on an Iron 165. So, uh, so in this design, you obviously designed this in the heat of the amount, just the sheer amount of key sets being designed. So, how were you able to kind of make your set pop, make it stick out a little bit more? Because to me, it's borderline impossible to create something. At least I'm not creative enough to make a keycap set, but it's hard to differentiate yourself with how many sets and just the sheer volume of amount of sets coming out. So how did you kind of approach it with, okay, well, I don't want to accidentally make something else?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that is the tricky part right now because there's only so many colors and only so many ways that you can use the colors. Um, I think for me, what I was seeing was that so I definitely have a different personal aesthetic than what I've been seeing a lot of. Like if there's animal sets, they're usually super like kawaii, like smushy and round and I love those, but like not for my desk. And I wasn't seeing like the types of botanicals and the types of animals and the types of graphics and color combinations that I wanted to have. And I was thinking to myself, like, I can't be the only person. Someone else has to feel this way too. And if I am the only person, fine, then MOQ doesn't get met. And that's we just leave it at that. But I was kind of hoping that there were going to be some other people that were kind of feeling like there was the um, sort of void, you
Yeah.
know, that was like not super cute, but not super like not cute. Like I really digged like the whole cottagecore thing,
Yeah.
and I wasn't seeing a whole ton of that. So a couple things there, like I love like nature witch is really cute, but again, that's like round and smushy and happy faces and everything, and it just wasn't what I was trying to do with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like cute,
Yeah.
but also like adult. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
not like a children's show. It feels like we have so many anime sets or like kawaii animal sets that are like very, and they're also like very, very bright. And even when they're not bright, like inherently the accent is super bright and it just like it can be a little overwhelming. So I love the, like you said, subtlety in it. It's great. I'm glad that you brought it out to the world, and I'm glad people enjoying it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah,
glad you guys actually got that.
well, it's very reminiscent of Ursa, in my opinion, of like
Yes.
the feel, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like Ursa. Now, Ursa doesn't have very bright and poppy colors. It's a light brown and a light green and white, but the novelties don't feel childish. They feel subtle and elegant. I'll say the word. Now that's how I think yours turned out as well. And I have to ask, there is a lot of, obviously you said, it's similar to botanical. So I'm sure you got a lot of people just telling you, oh, this is just botanical, because this hobby can't.
Weirdly enough, I didn't.
Oh,
You know?
strange. That's
Yeah.
impressive. I'm like
No.
genuinely surprised because the amount of people that I see that, just off of a set called Cafe being accused of looking like a set that's not even pink,
There are
like,
literally people in this community that I feel like they just live to try to compare a set that's an IC to another set.
yeah,
And that's fine. If you want to do that, if you want to see similarities and things. Again, there's only so many colors and so many combinations that you can make. Inevitably, someone's going to overlap. Like I've had people actually message me saying, "Hey, I have a set that's got some similarities to yours. I just want to make sure that I'm not stepping on your toes." And like I always say, even you said unseen, I'm like, I don't own colors. So like unless you're like legit ripping me off, like go for it. Do your thing. If you want to do something that's similar to this, you know, but make it your own, go for it. But to your question, I honestly like I tried to make it different enough from botanical that I wouldn't get too raked over the coals for it being close. And I think that I succeeded in that because I really like in fact the most that I saw a lot of comparisons to were kaiju. um,
yeah. I mean,
and
it's similar colors,
yeah.
but that's like the perfect example to me of how to take two incredibly similar colorways and have completely different key sets.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like they couldn't be more different. They just happen to share the same colors.
Yeah.
Or not the exact same, but very similar colors.
Yeah.
But they just look but it's such a different feel.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the whole thing, is that like you can have very similar colors, but like just put your own spin on it and make it yours and make it different, and it's going to work, That's, as long as like you put a lot of yourself into it. I really feel like most of these are going to be successful, if you put the effort into it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing, is like showing there's effort behind it and there's inspiration, and it's not just like, I like that, but I want it a little different. Like,
Yeah.
it's like there's more to it than that. Like you're talking about how there was already the love for the Save a Fox organization, and then like it really started with the design of a desk mat, and like, yeah, it's more than just the colors, which I think a lot of people
Yeah.
maybe don't necessarily get.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, like, especially for anything, because I do have 3 more sets that I see right now.
Ooh.
And all of them, every single one of them has been months of like agonizing over swatches and really trying to hone in and like a theme and do the best possible, like do the theme justice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like I'm really big into like strong themes of anything, anything that I do. Like, I mean, even just like look at the different rooms in our house. Like every room has kind of a theme to it. This one, it's kind of this is like audio.
Yeah.
But I really try to be very strong with my theming, and I think that that's an important, I want
Yeah.
people to kind of take a look at it and be like, oh yeah, I totally get the feel for that on this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So I want to. I forgot. I see interest checks, but it's very rare that I even like register who made them. I just see like colorways. I want to talk about Trash Friends.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, how do you make a set about a possum?
You made
and you make it cute.
You made it really good. So again, I'm sure we're right back in it. We're right back in well, this just looks like this. There are some similarities to well, guess what? You use the color pink, and if you use the pink on anything, it's Olivia. I love that you put the Cafe Olivia GMK Trash Friends color match, because again, this is similarities, and you don't make a set like this without being forethinking about the fact that it's going to look relatively similar.
Yeah.
But again, you've made some amazing novelties. We've even got some 3 color novelties in here. So
being pulled, unfortunately. But I really wanted to do the flower crown, but it's not gonna work out.
It happens. But I mean, I might buy this set just for the trash can, honestly.
It's so funny. One of my really good friends said that was her favorite.
Like that's hands down is my absolute favorite. That might be my favorite novelty I've ever seen in my life. It's just a trash can. Like, I'm gonna get this set because it's like delete, right? It's the perfect key. I can't think of a better.
It's a trash can.
Delete. Just boom, delete. I'm done. Like, I'm getting this set, putting it on a Baka 70. I will say the possum desk mat is a bit scary.
Oh, she's so cute though.
She's got the flower crown, but I don't know if I would.
She's staring into your soul. She wants
exactly
staring into your soul.
This is an amazing set.
I'm partial to the Trash Panda desk mat myself. That is quite adorable, as well as the squirrel.
Yeah, these are like Your design is great, and I love the silhouettes. Like this is obviously it's the we haven't gone through the next key set that is in the IC, but I love the simplicity of it. Like sometimes key sets, the novelties are it's like almost too much.
Yeah.
Where there's some are great and detailed. Like to me, one of the best novelties is the wave enter from Mizu. It's complicated, but it's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be that complicated to be really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
With these, the 1.25 keycaps, and I love that they're, you have them flipped so you can have them either facing one way or facing the other. Like,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm all about, like symmetry and that. Yeah. But I love, so we feed our trash friends around here. Until, and like it used to bring us so much joy to watch them. Until our neighbor essentially threatened us. His daughter came home at night and thought that there was a stray cat on the porch and was trying to call in, and then the raccoon hissed at her. So we were then threatened to stop feeding them. But yeah, I mean, again, if I can just sit around and draw animals all day and like be able to, take a little bit of the portion of proceeds and donate it to help them, also while providing people with like a cool set, like sounds like the perfect storm to me. You know what I mean? But yeah, the complicated novelties, like Double Shot has like very specific guidelines, and so you can't go too terribly complicated with them. GMK at least. I know you can get wild with it for, dice, but yeah, like for me, when I was starting to kind of design things and I was thinking about like line width and corners and angles and all that kind of stuff, really like the silhouettes made the most sense because I could get the most detail into it without it starting to kind of like lose its shape and form. Like sometimes you can go to the point where like it doesn't look like the thing anymore, so the silhouettes ended up, and I just kind of like that style anyway. So it just seemed like the best fit for me.
The more I look at this, the more I'm like, damn, this is such a good set.
Dude.
I mean, it's fun. Like so Vox and I actually Nathan Alphaman, he had brought up the idea of like a panda, and then Vox just and we're like tossing around ideas, and we're like, oh, trash, the best one ever.
I love that it's just trash friends. Like
trash friends. Yeah,
the best
we're not excluding any of the animals that dig through the trash.
We're an inclusive community.
Yeah.
Or cockroach. That was just kind of like, no thanks. Like, yeah, definitely A-Team theme music, and then like high-fiving was like going in my head as I was coming.
So moving to the next one, which is kind of a good lead-in. After we talk about this set, it's a good lead-in. EPBT Allfather, which I love. One, I can see where the inspiration for the Smith and Rune logo came from, with this kind of Norse background to it. Another great set. Different EPBT this time. I like that you're doing something a little different with that, where it's not always GMK. We'll follow up more about the GMK, but definitely a branch from picking, from finding cute animals, and now you're doing. I don't know if I've ever heard Vikings be considered cute. So definitely a different branch, but I love what you did with this set. It's a fantastic set, and I say this with the utmost respect for Nathan Alphaman. I think you made now the best ISO enter.
Oh.
And that's coming from Paddington being, in my opinion, the best ISO enter. That ISO enter is amazing. I still wouldn't use it, but I would frame it.
I know, like, I'm actually kind of excited to have, like, a whole collection of all of the novelties that I'm never gonna use that I designed, you know? Um, yeah, I've always wanted to do something, with the, like, Norse stuff, like, my family is very much Scandinavian, and it's been like a big part of my just kind of identity for my entire life. And I've always wanted to do something like cool with this. You know, like I listen to a lot of Viking metal and like
Mm.
I was kind of like had that stuff playing and thinking about it. Like that All Father was actually conceived during the winter when everything was like, you know, barren and cold outside. And like that's really kind of the mood that I was going for. Um, and yeah, branching out. You know, like I'm not sold on anyone at this point. You know, like this is
Mm.
me at the beginning of all of this. I like the idea of dice and you know having bringing a like a lower price point and a little bit more detail and just like you know trying something different and seeing how that works and for everyone else seeing if people actually dig it you know um, so yeah the it's kind of still like spaghetti at this point, throwing stuff at
Yeah.
the wall,
Yeah.
you know, and seeing what sticks.
I do love that you obviously you opened up EPBT. Like you said,
Mhm.
EBT, you can dice up, you can get a little bit crazier, you can get a little bit more intricate with the designs for novelties specifically. But I love that you made it a little bit more intricate, but not so much that it almost goes away from like the design style that you kind of have through Fox and Trash Friends. Um, you know, it's fairly similar. It's nice. It's subtle. It's subdued. It's not too much because I feel like sometimes when people go full all out with the ability on novelties, especially with EPBT, it can get
Mhm.
kind of overwhelming. Can kind of take
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. I sometimes it can be a little busy. It's you know sometimes, and then you choose not to use those keys. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to go too over the top. Like I do have a specific style, and I'm kind of trying to like create that sort of brand. I guess if that is really the right way to put it. But
All I'm saying is, if you keep with these fire ass desk mats, I'm gonna have to start using desk mats.
actually, the other one, the one with Odin actually on it, that was that. Sometimes I start with a desk mat before I go to the key set to kind of inform how the key set's going to go, like the how things are going to kind of take shape. And that desk mat was the one that I did. Yeah,
Yeah,
and then I kind of yeah, it went from there.
it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
thank you.
And
We're gonna
just
need
the
to frame
colors
it.
are the colors just feel like Norse, like it just has that like northern feel to it of you know cloudy skies, mountains, harsh conditions.
Yeah,
Plus, you guys, you made a keycap set with sub legends that I would actually want to use. So,
thanks. Actually, the sub legends, I'm kind of excited. The sub legends are going to change because I'm going to be designing. The
oh,
ones
nice.
that are currently on the IC were they were a template that I had.
Hmm.
So that um, I am actually creating the runes at this point, and I'm pretty excited because I actually had the rune alphabet created or started anyway, the Elder Futher, and I'm pumped to be able to actually use it in this capacity. So yeah, I'm excited. I think that one is actually just going to get stronger.
Yeah.
So, and that's not even the only Viking set you made, because we got Freya. Freya's here. Very different feel in terms of color.
Yeah,
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 sharp left turn
yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of color, but it again looks great.
Thank you, thank
It's
you. She was the
Like,
biggest. That one was the biggest struggle. I went back and forth so many times on the that was crazy. But yeah, that was, like I really again, like I really try to like find colors that actually like fit the theme so well. Like there are just parts of Freya as the goddess that I just wanted to make sure was being represented, you know.
yeah, it's. I mean, again, you just knocked it out of the park. The colors fit. You wouldn't think if you say like a blush pink, red, and yellow. I
Yeah.
don't think a lot of people would just like in their head be like, "Oh, that wouldn't." It's like, no, this works like really well. Like, like you've got the pop of the accent, but the accent keys also all over or the accent colors all over the alphas. Just another one. The novelties are absolutely great. I have a feeling you're going to get a lot of people buying cat novelties. A lot of people buying novelties just for the cats.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I really wanted to do like a cat lady set without it being like too like this is a cat lady set. You know what I mean? I mean, I might make one of those in the future too. Who knows?
Right.
But
GMK cat ladies, where it's just all all cat alphas, just cat face alphas.
oh my god, that is genius. I would.
It's just cats shaped into letters, like laying down. So the entire alpha kit is just novelties. That would be a lot of work
and very expensive, but it would be funny.
If you do die sub, I don't know if it would be as expensive. If you did EPBT, GMK, it'd be an $800 base kit.
It wouldn't. Yeah,
they'd probably just tell you no. But yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline, which I like seeing. I like seeing. We used to see a lot of people go, oh, well, like calm down with the amount of designs. But it's like you don't have to release it all at once. You can release 10 interest checks in a week, and maybe you just are wanting to see which one's the most popular. Maybe it's an interest check. So I like that you're kind of showing all the work that you've done, and then if if you've got one that's really really close to being done, you're like, okay, cool, we're gonna run with that, and then I'm gonna go maybe make adjustments over here. But again, I love that you went with EPBT on this too.
Yeah, thanks. I'm excited to try new stuff. I actually have a set that's in the works too. That's going to be DCS too.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm just trying stuff, seeing what works the best. And if it all works well, then yay. Then get like a whole variety of stuff. But yeah, I mean, and I did get some comments like that, like slow down, slow your roll, whatever. Like you're gonna burn yourself out. Thank you for the concern, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Fuck the haters, right? Exactly.
It's so few. Like everyone else has been so super supportive and like really helpful. And like, honestly, I just really love like doing this, and I just really want to share it with people and hope that they like it, and if people don't like it, fine, you don't like it, and I don't have to put it out there. I really like the whole interest check, as you were saying, is just kind of seeing what people respond to, and if they don't respond, then it doesn't have to go anywhere. But if they do, then I'd love to bring this to people. I'd love to see people with All Father on their desk.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
How dare you use the interest check as intended? Yeah, like because I mean, it's funny because I feel like so many people, and it's almost like a meme, and we've talked about before of like interest checks not even really an interest check. It's like a hype check. But it's cool to see someone that's actually like, here's my ideas. What do you like? What do you not like? Change it up, fix it, move forward. I'm excited to see all of these.
I'm like using people's feedback too, like people have given me like really important, like really good feedback that's really helped influence the sense of gone,
Yeah.
and I'm like, again, this is for the community. Like, this is for people to use, and I want to make something that people want, you
Yeah.
know. So I'm
And,
all about listening to them.
yeah. And that kind of leads into another question I had written down, which is like designing for yourself versus designing for other people. We kind of say that boards are made for the designer and sets are made for the community. So how does approaching like Keyset design, knowing that, while you want to make sure it's got your personal touch on it, you're
Mhm.
trying to make as many people, able to get the set and wanting to get the set, and kitting, I'm sure, is just an absolute nightmare. Everyone I talk to hates kitting so much.
Kidding is like the sticking point for sure. Like, just thinking about ISO makes me want to cry. But um, but really, like, these sets that I've started working on are all like, I have sets in my head that I think about and I'm like, no, and I don't do anything with it. Um, but everything that is either out, or like I have an IC, or Fox, was something that I wanted to do as well, and I just
Yeah.
was hoping that other people would be on board with it too. And I was thinking, like something like Trash Friends. Like, come on, who doesn't want a trash
Yeah,
can?
who doesn't want trash pandas? At least no one's gonna be mad about it. No one's gonna be like, "Oh, I hate this."
It's
He's
like, how
like,
do you
who's gonna be
hate
like, "I hate this so much." Like, move along.
No, you cannot hate. They are cute.
Like, take your trash key and move along.
Yeah.
I mean, and granted, there could be someone who says that, and
Yeah, I mean, who
fine,
and
yeah, but you can't make
taking criticism's half the fun.
Yeah, yeah, fun. Yes, yeah, but
The hateful, it's funny. It's the hateful comments that just skid on by. It's the ones that it's when the friend's like, I don't really like it that much, and I'm like, how would you say that?
yeah,
How could you hurt me? Someone's like, I fucking hate this and it's garbage. I'm like, cool.
yeah, stab to the heart.
It's like, okay, all right,
All
dude.
right, whatever. Have fun.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, like, and there has been a lot of value in some of the hateful comments too. And
Mhm.
to be honest, like, there haven't been a ton, which has been really nice. Like, again, most everyone in this community is so nice, so like genuinely, like, I've met some of the most like genuinely kind people through this, that like I never guessed I ever would meet. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's a big part of why I'm doing this, is because I really want to kind of give back, and make something that would make them happy. But, you know, there is value to the haters too.
Yep,
They
absolutely.
sometimes they have something worthwhile to say. But
Everyone has their place.
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. It's like like the thing is the people that are just like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Why? And they're like, I just don't like it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, it's like, I'm asking why, because I want to help learn from this,
Yeah.
like I
Help
want
it
to
be better.
understand what could be better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the people that give the criticism of like, I don't like this because of this. Because then
Yeah.
you can take it back to the drawing board and change it and grow from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there is definitely, like, I will take like helpful criticism all day long. I would prefer that over, just like, this is awesome, like, cool. Yay, I'm so glad you like it. I'm really glad that you think it's awesome, but also I'm really glad that this person has given me helpful criticism, because how am I going to make it better with it?
Yeah.
I want it to be its best possible version of itself that I can make. So, yeah, criticism, good, bring it.
Speaking of criticism, something that has been hot topic just basically for the entirety of custom keycaps, color matching, and
Color
all of that.
matching.
Yes. So this is my first foray into color matching with plastics. However, I do come from a production background, print industry. Um, the company that I work for as my day job is a trade show booth company. I've done, I've worked with brands like Johnson and Johnson, Samsung, LG, like a whole bunch of like really big names. And if you deviate from their colors,
They're mad.
Yeah,
you're in
they're
trouble.
they're taking money away. Yeah,
Yes, exactly. But there is a level of tolerance that has to be accepted for production.
yeah,
And that like we're never going to be able to match plastic to screen.
yeah.
Not going to happen. Color
Never.
management is an absolute freaking nightmare.
You might match a screen, but you won't match every screen.
No, no. Yeah, I mean, like your screen color gamut is different from what can be produced in plastic, And, I'm like inks vary and it's just, yeah, it's super fun. Good times. But yeah, like I feel like I'm pretty well suited for this because of my production background and because I know that I have to be really tight with the color, but at the same time, I do have a an idea of what the difference is between screen and
Yeah. So are you not going to be using like a color matching expert, like a lot of the people that have been doing it, the recent trend?
um not really sure. It hasn't really been discussed at this point with
have
Fox.
have you
um,
even gotten keycaps yet? Have you gotten samples yet?
no, not yet,
Oh,
not
okay.
yet. So once I start getting samples, then that's going to be a discussion. Like I have my color books.
Mhm.
So I have physical chips that I can
Yeah.
personally start, comparing against. But also, I am going to be relying pretty heavily on the experts in the industry who have been doing this for a long time
Mhm.
and know the best way to go about it. So, once the samples come in, I know that Kono and I are going to start having discussions.
Yeah. How's it been working with Kono?
They've actually been awesome. Yeah. Yeah, they've been really easy to work with. Everyone there has been like super helpful, really nice. Yeah. I mean, Kono has been good.
I
Very good
mean,
work. Yeah.
haven't really heard bad things from, I'd say 99% of vendors.
Yeah.
The 1%, you know who you are. But um, but so designing sorry. Designing the your first keycap set versus designing your second, third, fourth. What were the differences and what were the challenges that comes on, the sophomore set versus number one being Fox?
Been different. Because like I feel like also like my color palettes that I tend to really enjoy are like, greens and blues and black, white, and gray. And trying to first of all not copy myself by doing another green um, and another one with leaves because I could draw leaves all day. Like I'll do like 10 more of those. um, but just try, like really trying to do something a little bit different. Working with different parameters, with a different production, different. Um, it was definitely a little bit easier in terms of the expectations for files and um, you know uh, tolerances for the novelties and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like, and I started working on the others so quickly, like as Fix was, I started working on everything before Fix was even halfway through the IC. I have a lot of ideas and I was trying to get them out. So like they really are kind of on that same like noob level, I guess, in terms of what I was kind of struggling with at the same time. I definitely don't feel like an expert in any way, shape, or form at this point.
I mean, you're
So
definitely
I
getting
will
there.
definitely be learning.
I would say you're an expert desk mat designer. I don't even care
No,
if
yeah.
these come out like,
It only takes one desk mat to be an
Dude.
expert desk mat designer.
but
And you've gotten
these are,
like
nuts.
5 good ones so far.
And they're all like different styles, like, and different like they cater to different people. They're all good.
Yeah.
Just like the sets,
Yeah.
they all
I
catered.
definitely- Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am trying to kind of like not like, yeah, I guess it's kind of like akin to being like a tattoo artist. Like you want to be able to do all styles, but you also have like your own style that you want to kind of be your calling card, you know? So like I'm trying to like I don't want to like pigeonhole myself to just one specific like this is what anything from Bone and Bee is going to look like, you know. So yeah, I've been playing around with different styles and just really trying to make it fit the set itself and like what the feel is of that set that I'm going for.
All right, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Where does the name Bone and Bee come from?
Okay, so for a long time before I had like the joint issues, I was a jewelry designer. And so B is my family's nickname for me. And bone, because most of my jewelry featured bones. Like really like found object kind of stuff. Like I would go hiking and find like, you know, deer bones and I would take them home and clean them up and slice them and use them in my jewelry. Did a lot of like wood burning
That's
type of
metal
stuff.
as fuck.
But what? Oh yeah, it is pretty metal. Like some of them were definitely metal, like deer rib bone collars. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's sick.
Do you do chainsaw art too? Because just it just seems like the next thing in line for the artwork you do.
I would actually really love to. That seems like such a cool thing to do, but yeah, no, haven't done that yet. Maybe a weed whacker will start that first.
Just practice on some iron 165s. It's okay.
Murder.
You could have some custom Bone and Bee chainsaw boards.
I mean, well, steaks have been cooked on it, so you know why not?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Next step, steaks, chainsaw, same difference, right?
All in the same vein.
GMK Flesh and Bone. That would be fucking hilarious if you went from like foxes and trash friends and then it's like dead deer GMK dead deer carcass. Like,
well, I mean, so I do have the idea of doing some bones on a set in the future.
Yes.
So I mean, you're not so far off.
Hey, we could get you in contact with some artisan makers that
love.
I mean, Lividity would have a field day with that.
Dude, all I'm saying is I just got the Travis Scott one Lividity caps. They're brown, pink, and white, and I'm like, I already Trash Friends is already.
You were asking about it, so there. That's.
I have to buy Trash Friends.
It'll be like 2.5 years before you get it, but hey.
I know the turnaround time.
So I have to ask because Fox ran. When did Fox run? That was what, February?
Yeah. Like, did it run? Yes.
I thought it ran in. I think it ran in April. I thought.
Yeah, no, you are correct.
Bad.
It did run in April. Holy crap! This year.
April. Okay, so yeah, exactly. This year, just as it's already July.
I know.
But what is time since the pandemic? What is time?
I know.
But so I have the asking the like, how does it feel? Unfortunately, that you're like awesome foxes, and it's gonna be a hot minute before that's because you got to go through color matching and all that. Like, what's that? Sorry, it's a striking a little too close to home on the question, but
I know it definitely. I mean, that is like the sad thing. Like I'm like so amped to see it, but it's going to be so long before I get to see it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that does suck. That's kind of like one of the sticking points of that, of doing like GMK sets, is that you won't see it. You'll forget that you ordered it, and then suddenly it'll arrive and you'll be like, oh, it's
Mhm.
Christmas, if you even still live at the same address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is kind of the issue with that. But at the I'm kind of excited to be excited about it again, because it'll become like
Mhm.
old hat. I'll stop thinking about it as much as I do, and then suddenly it'll come, and like I'll be like, like I'm excited to be excited again about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and I'm already starting to work on. Man, cookie curls got me like so into doing scenes and like setups for stuff. I've already started like getting stuff for my Fox scene. So yeah, my Instagram is gonna be
Hell yeah.
lit at that point.
Lit.
It's gonna be awesome.
Mech Mauler, no, they don't get delivered. I have to ask, are you gonna get maybe an Austin or an Iron board in the GMK Fox colorway? Like that would be a cool. You get all the green or maybe a white one, and then you just get the badge in orange.
So actually, when I was designing Fox, I kept thinking about that e-white FE with the copper badge. And that is like I have this image in my head of what it's going to look like. And that was really like one of the big things about that set. I just really wanted it to like jam on that board, and
Mhm.
thinking about and also thinking about people's boards, like what color is most on people's desks. Like I wanted something that was gonna look really good on a pretty popular board color. But yeah, I don't know. Like I liked the look of Fox on teal. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't know if I'll actually get a board that's like directly matched to it, because again, like
Yeah.
the subtlety, like I don't want to oversaturate my desktop.
Definitely.
I think the play is navy. I think that on navy would look so good because you'd have the blue and green complementing each other.
Mhm.
Blue and green's great, but then orange, that's literally the complementary color
Yeah.
to blue. And so I think that would because what they had the SE, the Iron 165 SE came in navy, I think. Like the standard one, I
Hmm.
think had a navy run. I think
Yeah.
if I'm thinking about Fox just in terms of, I mean, it could look terrible, I don't know, but
Actually,
thank
love to
you,
see it rendered up.
G G Garsha
GG
for
Harsha.
the GG Harsha. Who knows, man?
I know.
I can't
It's
do
Harsha.
shit.
Thank you, Harsha.
GG
Appreciate it.
Harsha, thank you for the raid of 5. Welcome. We are talking with BoneandBee, designer of GMK Fox, as well as GMK Trash Friends, EPBT, All Father, and EPBT Freya. But yeah, like I think there's so much you can do with that, because that like green really lends itself to look good on a lot of colors outside of maybe purple.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
outside of that, like it's with the navy boards and the darker red boards really starting to gain some trigger. Gray, black, and white, we're always going to have those are always the safe bets, but the navy and the dark red are kind of slowly growing in popularity, where we used to see lots of purples and bright blues that, to me, honestly, like purple and bright blue just doesn't match a lot of boards as well as it could.
Right. I agree. Actually, one of the boards that I had Fox rendered on, because I loved the idea of it, was the Iron 180 grain. I feel like that was the sleeper color on that board.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think it gained as much traction as I think it should have, because the color on that board is, it's pretty awesome. And I actually love the way that Fox looks like too. But also, I am a green
Mm-hmm.
person, so I know that's not everyone. I just like those calming colors, you know?
Yeah, I think if I hadn't have already gotten, like, if I didn't already have a green board, would have totally gotten the green Iron 80.
Yeah.
The white one just is gonna look so
Dude.
good.
Yeah.
White TKLs to me are just like peak. Like that's
Yeah.
top of the
Classic.
line. So
It's the tuxedo.
yeah. It's literally a tuxedo. Like unless you had like a like piano black reflective black board,
That'd be
Yeah.
sick.
that'd be insane. But that'd be one that I'm like, I'm putting that on a shelf and never touching after
You'll
polishing
never
it.
get, yeah, you'll polish it every day for
Yeah,
the
like
rest of your
a
life.
lacquered board.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, exactly. Because looking at it, you'll get a fingerprint. So,
Yeah.
guys, if you have questions for BoneandBee, please just at Max on Deck so we can find it easily. Because reading, as we go through, I'm going to go through a quick ad read real quick. So, starting off with our awesome sponsors, we've got OmniType. OmniType. You can go to maxondeck.omnitype.com. They're running Botanical Round 2 right now. With some different different takes on Botanical as well. So go check that out. Use that link. It helps us with the channel. You can go to mexondeck.project.link. Bingsu Round 2 is going right now. 2 incredible sets that are in Round 2s right now. So just fantastic to see that. That's on Project Keyboards. You can go to canonkeys.com/mexondeck. They've got GMK Foundation running the Icky 68 Aurora Stargaze board like combo. I've been loving to see that. That's a really, really cool board. So if that's something you're into, that kind of 660 layout and that colorway, go check that out. Also, they have the Anubis switches on there. So if you want if you want to check out those Anubis switches, if you get those, we highly recommend grabbing the 69 gram springs from Kinetic Labs, which you can go to kineticlabs.store/mexondeck. They've got the new Polycaps whale caps out. I believe those are officially out. Yes.
Yeah, they are.
So very, very clean looking set with the grays and the navies. So and for $65, looks like they're out of stock, but they're going to come back, and that's cool that's going to be a recurring set. So go check that out. And Eric, who are we partnered with?
Yeah, so we've got some partners. Zap Cables. Go to zapcables.com. Pick yourself up a custom cable kit or some desk mats. They got some cool ones over there. Type Beast. Go to typebea.st. Sign up for their newsletter. They've put out newsletters every month. They get you a bunch of info about things that are happening in the community. And then Smith & Rune. Go to smithrune.com. Check out their fire merch, because you can get tons of stuff over there. You can get a hat, you can get sweatpants, you can get t-shirts, you can even get coffee mugs. So go check it out, as well as more information about the Iron 165 and Iron 180. And then last but not least, 3D Keybs. Head on over to 3dkeybs.com. Check out all of the switches, lube, their big ass mouse pads, best name in the community, as well as a bunch of other stuff. They got tons of stuff. And DCS
Paperwork.
I almost said paperweight. Keep wanting to call it paperweight.
DCS paperwork.
DCS paperwork will be running later. Yeah, and Davis is great.
Yep, absolutely. And I did forget to say, yes, the Ayala, the Ayala keyboard is running tomorrow. I think it's at 10. Is it 10 Eastern? Because if it's 10 Eastern, that's amazing. And I love Canon Keys for just being like, fuck you, West Coast.
I think he does them pretty early for West Coast.
11.
11.
Okay,
So 10,
so 11
10
Eastern.
Central.
10 Central, 10 Mex on Deck time, 8 a.m. You're going to have to wake up early West Coast if you want an Ayala.
I mean, it is Thursday, so I would hope that most people who are working are probably up at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so there that is. I was gonna wear my Smith & Rune sweatpants, but it's also like right now it is 82. It was like 95 today, we've reached the weather in Texas where, you know, when you turn on your car in the summer and the AC blows hot air at you,
Oh,
we've reached
yeah.
the point in Texas where the wind just is hot air being blown in your face. So it's like that's like when you know, winter is kind of like, that's when summer hits, is when you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this feels like I'm taking a hair dryer on hot and blowing it in
Yeah.
my face. So
Yeah.
sweatpants
Yeah.
are put away for the next 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of same
So-
here. I was thinking about wearing mine, but no, too hot. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
somehow we signed
we have
up
one
for
question. Yeah. So we have a question from Dotnik MK. What's it like being rad? Also, what was your experience like working with different vendors?
um the different vendors with the keycaps. I mean, I have really like no complaints with vendors. Like like all the vendors have been really, really great to work with. Everyone's like so responsive and like genuinely helpful. You know, there is a little bit of difference between like time and communication. You know, um, big versus small, but honestly, not even like I'm running Allfather and Freya through Thought Keys. Um, and Ione has been so awesome, like such a good, like I feel like a partner in this situation, you know, like really helpful, gives great feedback for that type of stuff. Um, you know, and I don't know, like there's all of the vendors that I've worked with so far have been like really, really good people, and just I can't complain about anyone. You know, like it's just been a good experience, really. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Iwan is
There
a
it
really
is.
cool dude. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
One is
Awesome.
lit.
Yes. So I want to shout out to Jay
A
from
personal.
Prototypes too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's been really
Oh
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's
He's awesome.
Jay's the best.
Yeah.
I wish I could talk to him more, but just because he's so
That's
far
nice.
ahead, like every
Yeah.
time I want to talk to him, I'm like, it's like 2 a.m. One question I want to ask. So I love you've seen the Keep Town poster.
Yes.
So is it cool seeing like your logo like so subtly just kind of plopped in there?
Honestly, it is weird to see my logo like on things and see it in people's homes and on their Instagram accounts and stuff like that, you know, like it's kind of bizarre, but yes, I love that poster. Like that is like it's just neat to see it being like, you know, brought into other people's worlds. Yeah.
It's definitely strange. Like I didn't even think about like the fact that once it goes on sale, there's gonna be other people that have like caricatures of
our
us
faces
on them on
Yeah,
their wall. Like
and not only like what's so goofy is like, so outside, so Mito's the ninja, as from what I've heard, is that Mito is the little ninja at the top. But like people like myself, Eric, and Lightning, it's not just like Quakeum's walking around with a t-shirt and jeans on. It's like, oh no, like Dave's in a fucking Chewie outfit, like a Chewbacca outfit, walking around there. He's wearing like Egyptian garments, and you know, Lightning looks like a monk with the like tattoo across his face. It's thinking about that, just like I sat there and laughed for like 5 minutes yesterday when I looked at it. I was like, people are gonna, it's not like, oh, like look, it's cool, it's true. It's like, no, Chewbacca with Dave's face is gonna be people's houses and stuff. So but yeah, that poster is fantastic. But other than that, I think we Eric, unless you have another question you want to ask, I think we might just wrap it with the big last one.
I think I'm good.
Yeah. So last one, for those wondering, we did send her these questions. You've done an amazing job being, I told you, by the way, and she was like, I'm so nervous. I've never done this. And I was like, anyone that's like, the second you say, I'm nervous, you can ask Kimchi Jody Boy. He's in chat. The second you say I'm nervous, I'm like, okay, cool. I have nothing to worry about then, because
It's always the best
literally
interview.
everyone who says I'm nervous immediately gives great interviews. But what is some advice? Yeah. What is some advice you would give someone looking to make their first keycap set?
You know, this one was also hard because I really don't feel like I am, you know, the person that people should ask about this type of stuff. Like I'm still figuring it all out myself, you know. But really, like the best advice that I could give is just ask questions. Like everyone in this community has been so amazing. Like I have a question, I ask someone, and like, you know, I get not just like not just a one word answer. I get like someone helping me, like, you know, through stuff. It just, I really like, seriously, shout out to Lang again for being just freaking awesome and helping me so much. You know, I like ask the questions. People will help you. People are really nice. People are like want to see stuff succeed. People want to see good things being brought. Like no one wants to see like, you know. So, you know, like get feedback and it's and use the feedback unless it sucks and then ignore the feedback.
Just say
But
thank you and
really
move
it's
on.
just like reach
Yeah.
out, like don't feel like you're an island, you know. You don't have to do it all on your own. Other people have already done this, so there's plenty of resources out there. Yeah. And I'm willing to be one of
Absolutely.
those if I can help.
But
Yeah.
it's even though you know, you're just coming off the heels of your first, you know, group buy set, you know, it still hasn't delivered. It's cool to see kind of what someone who's just kind of getting their feet wet with it, what they say, um, because I think it's important to know kind of like everything, like the stuff that people learn on the steps to becoming a great keycap designer, what they've learned about. So it's cool to see the input. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And also don't cry about kidding because kidding sucks for everyone. That would be
yeah.
yeah, it's been
Yeah.
that's the hard one because you want to make everyone
I-
happy, but it's impossible.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you're never going to be able to.
No, no. Yeah.
Um,
Can I just do like a
so,
quick like I just want to do like a shout out to all the women.
you say what you say, whatever. This is your time to shine. People
Yeah,
are sick of looking at us. So,
I just want to do like a shout out to all the women in the hobby too. There are some like absolute monsters out there who have been like just crushing it and like paving the way for, you know, the rest of us to like actually like feel in like welcome and interested, you know, because like there are sometimes like you look at something and you're like, club, I'm just gonna keep working, you know. But like there are some women out there that have really like, I mean, look at Olivia, Cookie Curls, Minterly, Apiary. Like these women are just like amazing and it's really inspiring. So yeah, just wanna
It is awesome. It's like it because
yeah.
it's something that like obviously as a guy I don't like think about it, but it's awesome to see that divide because even at the beginning 2 years ago, 3 years ago in the hobby, it felt way more closed off, I guess, to
Yeah.
females, and now it feels much more open and it's awesome. Things like the cute
Yeah.
keyboard club and then the streamers and other designers you mentioned, it's awesome. It's awesome
Yeah.
to
yeah.
have more diversity in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been really, really nice to have that and kind of like feel like there's definitely like, you know, and not like the lone girl in the club, you know. So it's been really good
Yeah.
to
Absolutely.
have
Yeah.
them there as
It's
like
been. I mean, it's been fun. Just what. Yeah. It's been fun just watching my wife get more and more into the hobby and start going, hey, like I'm starting to now have preferences on what switches I want, and
yeah.
like she's really into artisans now, and that's like a whole other thing too. What
Yeah.
just we just go broke a lot. It's all good. So, well, thank you very, very much for coming on the show. Again, you did great. Trust me. You did an amazing job. So guys, you can pre-order GMK Foxes right now is up. So !Fox. You can go if you want GMK Fox right now. You can go pre-order it through Kono. It's probably going to be a couple minutes before it shows up, but we've also stay on the lookout for GMK Trash Friends as well as EPBT Allfather and EPBT Freya. And outside of that, I think we take this to Jeff Battle Station.
So much for the opportunity to come on here. This was really fun.
Oh, of course. It's always fun to bring on keyset designers because everyone's so different and everyone approaches keyset design so differently. And I'm just glad you were able to come on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So let's get
been an absolute pleasure. With that being said, we're going to be closing it up tonight. We will be back on Saturday at noon Central Time, so 12 p.m. Central. Chewy and I are going to be hanging out. We're going to be choring it up. We're going to be lubing some switches, just working on some stuff and hanging out, talking to chat, and see what's going on. But yeah, that's going to be it. We're going to send you over to Jeff's Battle Station. Thank you again, Miss BoneandBee, and go pick up GMK Fox. Bye now.
Bye.